A trembling grandmother in orthopedic sneakers steps onto a Nevada gun range, earning chuckles from every hardened marksman. They see shaky hands. What they don't see is the pinpoint plan that will rewrite every shot, every sneer, and every memory of her fallen boy. Martha Dell eased out of her dusty minivan, the June sun glinting off her silver hair. She wore orthopedic sneakers, a wide-brimmed straw hat, and carried a floral tote that looked better suited for a farmer's market than a firearms range. The moment her soles hit the gravel, a ripple of laughter drifted from the shaded benches. "Grandma lost the bingo hall?" A 30-something in mirrored shades whispered to his buddy, loud enough to echo. Martha pretended not to hear. Her fingers stayed wrapped around the tarnished challenge coin in her pocket, the last thing her son, Captain Robbie Dell, had mailed home before the convoy blast took him. She'd promised to visit the range he loved, just once, to feel him near the crack of rifles he'd mastered. The Nevada facility sprawled like a concrete scar against the sand. Retired SEALs, tactical influencers, and weekend warriors adjusted plate carriers, trading jargon Martha only half remembered from Robbie's letters. At the registration table, she signed M. Dell with tidy cursive. The teen volunteer behind the clipboard blinked. "Ma'am, today's event is, advanced." "I brought my reading glasses," she said, smiling. The boy flushed. Nearby, a fitness model shooter named Jade filmed on her phone. "Check this out, ladies," she cooed to her live stream, camera aimed squarely at Martha. "Desert heat stroke incoming." Hearts and laughing emojis flooded her screen. Range Officer Leo, broad, sun-creased, and usually unshakable, stared at Martha's signature, swallowing hard. He whispered to an assistant who hurried off toward the storage shed. Jade zoomed closer. "Granny, you sure that tote's not full of yarn?" Martha's smile never moved. She just tightened her grip on the coin, feeling its eagle wings press into her palm. Somewhere behind the berm, a metal plate slammed down, reset for the next shooter. Martha glanced at the sound and whispered, "Hold on, Robbie, Mom's almost ready." Leo returned carrying an M40 so battered it looked retired from service, stock chipped, barrel pitted. He set it on Martha's lane like a dare. "Only thing that still groups on this is the rust," Jade snickered, streaming every second. Martha slipped leather gloves from her tote, the kind older ladies wear gardening. She brushed desert dust off the rifle, ran the bolt as if greeting an old friend, and loaded 5 rounds of match .308 the volunteers had left like a prank. First shot. Boom. Her scope never twitched, yet the round sailed a foot wide of the central silhouette. Scoffs erupted. A bodybuilder in multicam slapped his knee. "Called it!" Martha exhaled, clicked the windage 2 notches left. Second shot. Higher miss, this one kicking a plume of sand 50 yards beyond the berm. Laughter rolled stronger. Phones lifted for viral content. But Leo's eyes narrowed. He glanced over his shoulder at the far ridge, then back at Martha, recognition dawning like sunrise. Third shot. Martha let the recoil ride her shoulder, almost gentle. The main target remained spotless. Crowd volume spiked, until a faint clang drifted from the distant canyon wall. Few caught it under the hoots. "Ma'am, maybe dial it back before you throw a rotor cuff," Jade teased, doubt sneaking into her tone. Martha's thumb traced the coin inside her pocket, a spread-wing eagle around an embossed word, Silverhawk. Fourth shot, another miss, another barely audible ring far beyond standard lanes. Leo stepped forward, but Martha waved him down with a pink-polished finger. Final round. She took longer. Inhale. Remember Robbie's laugh. Exhale. Trigger squeezed. Silence. Then 3 separate steel plates on the unseen hillside toppled in sequence like dominoes. The jeers choked off. A hush settled, broken only by Jade's live-stream chat, exploding. "Where did that hit? Replay! Is she for real?" Martha eased the bolt open, brass tinkling to concrete. "Young man," she asked Leo softly, "mind if I walk everyone a little farther downrange?" Boots, sneakers, and high-dollar tactical soles trudged across the baking sand after Martha. Phones dropped as shooters squinted against the glare. 50 yards, 100, 200 more. Finally, the hidden ridge came into view. 3 slender steel silhouettes welded to rebar, each bearing a white stencil, RD1, RD2, RD3. Leo cleared his throat. Targets reserved for special operations evaluations. They sit 800 meters out. Only a handful of vets ever tagged them. Martha rested her palm on the first plate, Robbie's initials flaking beneath her touch. "My boy practiced here before deployment," she said, voice steady. "Told me Silverhawk could nail these blindfolded. I needed to know he wasn't bragging." Jade's live stream tilted downward, then cut off entirely. The influencer lowered her phone, cheeks burning. "Ma'am, I'm sorry," she whispered. The bodybuilder shifted his weight. "We were out of line." Murmurs of agreement trickled through the group, rough edges dulled by shared shame. Martha smiled, crow's feet crinkling. "Apology accepted, but do me one favor." She pointed at the skyline. "Remember every quiet woman you underestimate. She might be carrying someone's legacy." Heads nodded, genuine this time. A breeze lifted Martha's hat brim. She placed the challenge coin atop the center plate, pressing it firm. "Stay with your targets, Robbie." Leo saluted, moisture glazing his eyes. One by one, the shooters followed suit, palms to brows, rifles lowered. Even Jade tucked her phone away and offered a crisp, untrained salute. Back at the parking lot, Leo handed Martha a fresh logbook page. In bold marker, he'd written 68, YRS, 55, hits, 812M. He slid it into a plastic sleeve labeled Records. "You raised the bar today," he said. Martha eased into her van, joints aching but heart light. Before closing the door, she called, "Ladies my age watching this, dust off your dreams. The range, the road, the world is still wide open." The engine turned over. The desert kept her son's echo, but sent his mother home in peaceful silence.